In my previous videos, I've talked a lot about K-pop personae. These are the various personality types that idols project either by choice or because they are assigned. What is a persona? In this case, a persona is a set of characteristics, personality, voice, and attitude adopted by an idol to appeal to a fan base. It comes from the Latin mask, more specifically, a mask in the theater or on stage. In K-pop, we see this personae often. The leader type, the savage maknae, the vitamin shot. In fact, we see them so often that they've become expected and standard. We could even call them K-pop archetypes.
그래서 이제 그때 나는 애교왕 이렇게 된 거죠. 근데 내가 봤을 때 원래 애교
누나는 이기의 막내이자 애교왕.
An archetype is a typical example of a thing or a person. In K-pop, we can think of archetypes as standard roles that make it easier for us to consume the narrative of a specific group. They're like a shorthand or shortcut. Idols themselves are all unique humans. Idol personae are often connected to standard archetypes that have proven fan appeal. In this video, I want to talk about another K-pop persona, but this time, it's one that is often an assigned position. I'm talking about the leader persona. You might be thinking that this isn't a persona, that groups often have a member who is assigned the official role of leader. And that is true, but we can also think about groups who have a leader type.
투표했어요. 그럼 이름만 적고 멤버 누가 리더했으면 좋겠다. 근데 저희는 무조건 다 숙여요.
오, 인기가 그러면은 좀 많았던 거예요? 아니면 믿음직해서 그랬던 거예요? 아니면은 약간 믿음직해서
그리고 되게 오래 있었어요 회사에.
Even those members who are official leaders have common traits and elements that are similar to the other personae, like Airhead or Dum Dum. JYP groups seem to have the most standard leader type role. When we think about TWICE, ITZY, and NMIXX, Jio, Yeji, and Haewon stand out as excellent leaders. But there are others like Solar from Mamamoo, Chaewon from LE SSERAFIM, and Taeyeon from Girls' Generation. Even groups without assigned leaders have clear leader types. I'm thinking about Minji from New Jeans and even Jennie from Blackpink in their early years.
제니가 주로 다 얘기를 해?
어떻게 알았어?
Beyond the official leader title, what makes a member a leader type? Let's break it down. First, certain unspoken requirements. There are certain requirements for a K-pop leader that seem to be pretty consistent even if no one really talks about them. Most often, the leader is Korean. And not just with a Korean background, but actually Korean-born. There are exceptions, of course, like Masharu from Kepler or Bangchan from Stray Kids, but mostly, leaders are Korean. I would guess this because non-Korean leaders would be at a disadvantage in helping members navigate Korean culture.
잡는 거예요. 1단이야 이게 하나씩 잡는 게. 멋지. 이렇게 하는 거예요. 그 다음에 봐야 돼. 이기겠다 지금. 우와! 야, 너 멋있다.
Leaders are also typically the oldest member or the most experienced. There are lots of exceptions to this, but it is fairly standard. Jaewon from LE SSERAFIM is a good example of an exception. Sakura is the oldest and more experienced, but she is also Japanese. Sakura has also said that her one requirement for joining the group was that she not be the leader.
계약할 때 내가 하나만 계약 조건을 냈어. 리더 시키지 말라고.
So that's an important requirement too. The leader has to want to be the leader.
리더 아닌 게 조금 편할 수도 있어.
그럴 때도 있어요.
Second, projecting a leader personality. Idols with a leader persona command a certain amount of authority. They can quiet their members with just a look, keep them in line when they are being rowdy, and generally ensure that the group is performing when they need to. And fans love this aspect of their persona. Compilations of leader moments are hugely popular.
오라 할까봐. 아무도 오라고 안 해. 많이 남았대. 나나님.
그게 아니라 아무 이렇게 멈추고 말하고 멈추고
어제 연습 영상을 봤는데 여러분들 들어보세요. 연습 영상 봤는데 다들 안무가 너무 형편없어요.
리더의 날카로운 말에 충격.
너무 화가 나가 건들지 마세요. 오늘 진짜 예민하니까요.
Sometimes, this leadership also takes the form of a mom persona. Not all leaders have this aspect of their persona, but many give off a sense of a tired caregiver of several rowdy children. Solar is a great example of a leader type who does both.
이렇게 앉아있던 거에는 이가 있었거든요. 근데 서인은 이가 없는 거예요. 내가 왜요? 용산이한테 왜? 죄송합니다. 왜?
나도 다음에 스케줄에 있어요. 열심히 활동을 하고 있죠.
Third, absolute competence. Most of the leader type idols are hyper competent at every aspect of being an idol. They are intensely competitive and solid dancers and vocalists. Gia from Twice, of course, is the best example of this. It seems likely that the leader persona is close to her actual personality since she has exemplified it so well and so consistently for the past 8 years. Ones are very familiar with the tiny and not so tiny animated flame that appears over her head in Time to Twice episodes with any competition.
또 난리 나는 거 봐봐. 잘 보세요. 내려갑니다. 내려갑니다. 브리드차. 브리드차 것 같아. 브리드차 것 같아. 내려갑니다. 나 내려간다.
All the leader types have this kind of overall competence. Solar is a generational vocal talent, as is Haewon. Chaewon is an all-rounder in that she is a strong vocalist and dancer with a good variety skills. And Yeji is also an all-rounder. Is leader a role, a persona, or something else? I've talked a lot about the characteristics of a leader and how, for Geo, for example, this seems to be at least part of her natural personality. ITZY's Yeji is also well known as a strong natural leader. She's also hyper competent and responsible. Like once, Midzi loves compilations of leader Yeji, and there are lots of them. She keeps the group in line.
저는 2번이고요.
먹는 거.
들어주겠어?
사랑이라는 거. 오케이.
들어주겠어?
미안.
그 좀비
And she's constantly looking out for members.
이거 마이크 어떻게 해야 되는지
맛있어? 유나가 왜 이렇게 물이 올랐어요? 워낙
She has all the trademarks of a leader persona. Keep that in mind while you watch the next set of clips. It would be almost as easy to categorize Yeji as a dum-dum type idol as it is to categorize her as a leader type. She has all those trademarks too. She's the lead dancer, she's often wearing sexier type outfits, and she's often edited to seem less smart. Again, not ever saying an idol is stupid. Yeji in particular is excellent at memory games.
잘한다. 역시 예지 씨 승리.
I'm just saying that for many idols, a persona or role might be somewhat limiting, especially as they mature. I mentioned another leader idol in this video, Chaewon from LE SSERAFIM. Chaewon is a great leader for LE SSERAFIM with all the qualities I discussed earlier. She was also in another group prior to LE SSERAFIM, IZ*ONE, where she wasn't the leader. In fact, she was most often treated gently by the other, mostly older members. She wasn't the maknae, but she was much sillier and babied quite a bit. Does this mean her leader persona in LE SSERAFIM is a lie? No, of course not. As I've said all along, idols are complicated, complex people with many aspects to their personalities. They take on the roles that they need to for the work they do, and they also grow, mature, and change over time, like Chaewon and Yeji and all idols.
했거든요. 그리고 아이즈원 때 활동했던 모습보다 더 발전된 모습이랑 새로운 모습을 보여드려야 그래도 뭔가 새롭게 다가오고 뭔가 더 재밌고 보는 사람 입장에서 더 재밌고 더 관심이 갈 텐데 또 욕심이 생기는 것 같아요. 또 새로운 욕심이.
A persona can be a fun way to easily connect with an audience, but idols are not their persona. Alright, that's it for today. Hope you enjoy. See you again. Till next time. Bye!